Well, Coach, just talk a little about this weekend. Two teams you're familiar with, but not in the Big Ten. It's coming to Huff Hall this weekend.
Yeah, well, I think it's two teams we've been familiar with that we've seen a lot of in the last few years. We saw Louisville in the spring. We've seen Cincinnati 3 times in the last 2 years. Know the coaches very well. It's gonna feel like a Big Ten weekend because it's a Friday, Saturday, almost like a home weekend, and that's the reason why we like the Big Ten Big East Challenge and why the idea first formulated and why we're executing it, and it's good competition. I like the challenges they present. Cincinnati and Louisville run a very different system, both offensively and defensively. Both have great athletes. Both play great volleyball. I think it's great preparation for us for the Big Ten.
Like you said, 1 week before the Big Ten, you look down, still 7 teams ranked. You guys are number 3, and obviously we're still early in the season, but there aren't that many undefeated teams left among the top teams in the country. It's pretty balanced.
It is. Well, I think this year it's going to be an interesting year. There's a lot of talented teams. There's a lot of people that lost a lot of key players last year. The Big Ten is going to be extremely interesting. I think there's several teams that I think there's going to be a lot of upsets that people would perceive as upsets that maybe the coaches wouldn't think are upsets. And the rankings right now really don't mean much to us or to anybody really around the team. I'm probably not to most people in the country. I think that's more for fans and for recruiting and media, all that kind of stuff. And so for us, it's more like we're just trying to be the best team we can at this time of year and trying to figure out our systems and play at a high level.
We'll get a couple questions from fans. Jack from Champaign wants to know a little bit about the middles. They had a great weekend, and if their progress will impact how your offense runs the rest of the year.
Well, I think we're talking about developing an offensive system. We're always basing it on the personnel we have, and so if they continue to be effective, we're going to use the middles a lot. If the right side ends up being a big weapon for us with Lizzie over there, then we'll use that a lot. It's just going to be about what our strengths and weaknesses are, evaluating that, and then it's going to be a little bit of opponent-based. If certain opponents try to take certain things away, we're going to have to take advantage of that. The thing I like is that so far this year we've had more balance offensively, and that's probably what Jack's alluding to, than we've had in the past. And I think that's a good. I think that's because one thing because of Annie, she likes to use the middle a little bit more. Another thing because our middles have worked real hard. Aaron Johnson's worked real hard to be offensive, and still is working hard, and so is Annie. They're trying to be complete volleyball players, and it's exciting to see that.
And then Terrence from Lindenhurst wants to talk about breaking down film from the opponents. What are some of the things that you look at? How much time do you spend on that, and then how do you present that to your team?
I will say that the majority of our time is spent during the season looking at other opponents. We watch all kinds of tendencies and all kinds of, we watch every match that we possibly get our hands on. For instance, Cincinnati, I think we have 6 of their matches that we're watching right now. And so we chart it, we look at it statistically, we look at it objectively and subjectively, and we're gonna understand the team as best we can. You never know how a team's gonna play against you and because they're doing the exact same thing and they may make changes. And so we have a starting plan every weekend based on what we see on tape and those tendencies, and then we have to adjust as the match goes on.